Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Kalibas, and I decided to do my interview with a current high school senior. And basically I'm going to be asking about technology because my action research project is going to be heavily based on technology and integrating it into the classroom. So today I wanted to talk to Nick about what a typical classroom setting is and how much technology is incorporated. So if you could explain to me what a typical 100-minute block is on any given day.
Okay, first we would walk in, sit down, and for the first 10 minutes the teacher would take attendance, make sure everybody was here, go over homework, anything like that. Then after that we would have a bell ringer, which is just a couple questions on anything that we did the day before to keep our minds fresh with the subject. And then for the next hour, probably about the teacher would just lecture, and then for the rest of the block we would have independent work.
The interesting thing about what Nick just said is that I think many classrooms have this. It's more of a teacher-centered lecture and then independent work. And so much of our students today are not that type of learner anymore. The traditional setting isn't going to work anymore. So part of my action research is going to be incorporating different projects and different group assignments, and instead of pen and paper tests. So I'm really interested to start the action research project by incorporating technology. Now, when I say the word technology, what comes to mind to you?
The internet.
And how much do you use the internet in your classes today?
For English we use Turnitin.com, which checks for plagiarism on essays to see if the kids just copy their work from the internet or they actually thought of it themselves.
Have you ever had any classes where you had to do assignments that were based on group work, where you had to create a PowerPoint presentation, or you had to create a movie, or you had to do a podcast? Have you ever had anything like that?
Yes, actually. Last year we did a PowerPoint on, we had to pick an author out of the English textbook that we were using at the time, and we had to do a PowerPoint on it. And there was either a choice between doing a PowerPoint on the author or doing an essay. And we worked in groups of 2 to 3 people, which I think we got more out of it than we would have if we just did an essay.
Now, that's something that's really important to me, especially with the action research, is how much kids are going to get out of a project as opposed to a pen and paper test. So what do you think? Do you think project-based learning is something that would be advantageous to students, or do you think pen and paper tests are better?
I definitely think projects are better because on a pen and paper test, the answer is pretty much either right or wrong, and the kid can't put any thoughts into it. If they did a project, they can put their mind to the project, put their own individual work into it, and the teacher can actually see what the kid knows instead of just on a pen and paper test where you just find out if they're right or wrong.
Would you be for or against incorporating a social networking site like Facebook into your classroom curriculum?
I think that would be a great idea because, say, a teacher makes an account and they put the homework assignments up there, they can put their podcasts up there, and if a kid was absent, then they can just go download the podcast and they won't miss any part of the lecture that would seem important for them learning it. And the teacher can also put their homework assignments on there so they'll never miss homework.
Do you think a lot of kids would jump on that bandwagon and actually sign up for an account with Facebook if a teacher, per se, did that?
Yes, I would actually, because kids, usually when they get home, they'll get a drink and then they'll just go on Facebook right away. So if they're already on Facebook, they'll be all for it right when they hear the word.
Have you ever done a podcast or a blog or an iMovie or any type of technology using Web 2.0 tools?
No, I have not.
Would you think that it would enhance your learning by creating those types of things and learning how to do those things?
Yes, it would, because when people blog, they blog about their thoughts and their point of views on certain subjects. And if somebody's having trouble understanding something, they can read somebody else's blogs and thoughts, and they can derive their own ideas from that.
Okay, very interesting. I am really interested in knowing whether you would rather have pen and paper grades, or would you rather have a project-based grade. That is a big thing that I'm not quite sure about in my action research. And as a student, would you rather see grades based on just what you do or what a group of students did?
Honestly, I think the project grades would be better because, like I said before, pen and paper is either right or wrong. There's no different interpretations and ideas from the kids. So in projects, they can put their own point of views, their own words into it, and that'll get better like that.
Do you think you know a lot about technology?
Other than the internet and stuff like that, no, I really don't.
So do you think that you are in the majority or the minority with students today in knowing technology? Because I think a lot of students know about Facebook and MySpace and gaming, but they don't know how to incorporate such things as podcasts and blogging and actually really using the internet to create a product and to expand their learning and their critical thinking. What do you think the average student today would say?
The average student would say that they have no clue what a podcast is, or they just go up, when they hear the internet, they think of Facebook and video games automatically. They don't even think of Word documents or anything like that, blogs, nothing.
Now, do you think incorporating a 100-minute block and doing a small teacher lecture and then breaking out into groups on a daily basis to create a technology integrated project, do you think that would enhance the learning environment, or do you think that you wouldn't get as much out of it?
I think it truly would enhance the environment because when kids are getting lectured, they either aren't paying attention, staring off into space, or whatever, but if they only get lectured for, say, 15 minutes, then they can do the projects. They're always concentrating on what they're doing and the subject in the class.
I think it's very interesting. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate you taking the time to answer some of these questions, and that would be it.